I competed for $5 million in Mr. Beast's record-breaking new show, Beast Games. In this video, I'm gonna expose the truth on everything you've heard about Beast Games. I'll share never-before-seen videos, explain how I survived these massive challenges, and also answer questions like, why did Mr. Beast have us drink human blood? I'm just kidding, I made that part up. Besides fighting 2,000 other contestants for over $20 million in prizes, I also unknowingly helped break 40+ world records and formed an unbreakable alliance that's named after a hot dog stand. I'll explain that in a second. Last week, I made a video explaining the first half of Mr. Beast's 2,000 contestant YouTube video. I'll link that above. Otherwise, let's jump right into the flag challenge, which included two $10,000 briefcases and a few crazy chases that never made it into the actual show. Jimmy never mentions this in the actual video, but whatever flag number you end up getting in this challenge ends up being your contestant number in Amazon's Beast Games. This challenge was by far my favorite in the video, but also the most stressful to play. Sometimes Jimmy would put traps all over the field. At one point, he put two $10,000 briefcases out on the field, but they were nowhere near the flags. So you could potentially get $10,000 and a flag, but it was nearly impossible to get both. And as expected, anyone who went after the $10,000 briefcase was eliminated, whether they got the briefcase or not. Jimmy would also set traps with his friends. So he would give Chandler or Nolan the flag and have them run around the field. Contestants would cross the red line and chase after Chandler, but they were never fast enough. We would all watch as Chandler continued to outrun the contestant that was chasing him. After a minute, another contestant decided to join the race, and then another, and then another. Nobody could catch Chandler. After a couple of minutes, there was 10 or 15 people all chasing Chandler for the same flag. Obviously, only one person ended up catching Chandler, and then the other 14 people were eliminated. These traps were very stressful, but also really fun to watch. At this point in the video, we had already been trapped in the stadium for about 2 or 3 days. I had already made an alliance with like 9 other people, but the 10 of us had to split up to make sure we weren't all going for the same flags. I remember seeing flag 606 being pretty far away, but I thought I could outrun most of the people around me, so I called it out. I waited for Jimmy to sound the horn, but seconds before he did, somebody else called out 606. So I had to talk that person down before Jimmy blew the horn. I told him I've run 7 marathons and he'll never outrun me, which was kind of true, except for they were half marathons, and it was also like 5 years ago, and I'm also very slow. Honestly, he could probably beat me if he crawled there. But anyways, it worked. He seemed to back down before the horn went off, but it's so stressful because you really don't know who's all gonna go for the same flag. As soon as the horn went off, I sprinted as fast as I could. I remember having tunnel vision as I was running for the flag. And luckily, I got flag 606. It is a crazy 10-second feeling. Your body has like so much adrenaline pumping through it before the challenge, and every time you complete a challenge, you get this huge hit of dopamine. It is like nothing I have ever experienced. It is incredible. Somehow, for the 3rd time in a row, me and my entire 10-person alliance made it through the challenge. As I mentioned, your flag numbers end up being your contestant numbers if you make it on the Amazon show. So if I make it past this final round, I'll be on the Amazon show as contestant number 606. After the challenge was over, we ate our final meal, which was cold oatmeal for like the 18th time. Then we watched them rearrange the challenge and tried to speculate what it could be. I explained my alliance in my last video, but the short version is that we all met on an airplane flying into Vegas before the show even began. And now, thanks to the magic of trauma bonding, we're all super close friends. We call ourselves the Neon Dogs because we would always sit in front of this hot dog stand called Neon Dogs. A few of us even went on The Price is Right a few weeks ago, and instead of saying hi to her family on national TV, Madison said this.
I would like to shout out to my Neon Dogs. We got 3 of you guys in the crowd right now, 6 at home. Probably never gonna hear me stop talking about this either. Love you guys.
During the competition, me and the Neon Dogs were always speculating. All we did the entire time we were trapped in that stadium was speculate what the next challenge might be. And we were always wrong. Except for this one. This is the only one that we actually guessed correctly. Jimmy asked us to create a group of 100 people that we really trusted. We gathered a bunch of trusted friends that we had met over the last few days. If people tried to join our group and they were alone, we had to kick them out. If people tried to join our group and nobody recognized them, we also had to kick them out.
You can't sit with us!
We took the people that we trusted the most and put them on the outside of the platform because we knew those people wouldn't jump. The people that we didn't know very well took the inside of the platform. One guy was feeling kind of sick and basically just locked himself in the bathroom the whole time. People just put him in there and then guarded the door, like someone who drank too much at a party. I don't know if it was legal, but it worked. I'll be honest, we all felt pretty confident that we were gonna win this round. It was 6 a.m. at this point and we were all just like physically and mentally exhausted. But when that person jumped off that platform, the entire stadium erupted and we got our last burst of dopamine. And the surprising thing is that girl that jumped was trying to get on other teams. If we didn't kick her off our team, we would have been eliminated. Me and the entire Neon Dogs made it through all the challenges. It's kind of crazy to think I gave up $50,000 for people that I just met like 80 hours ago. Jimmy had us walk through that door and people were just throwing millions of dollars into the air. It was literally raining $5 million. It was a crazy feeling. Everyone was so excited to leave the stadium. I couldn't wait to get sun and fresh air. They also gave us these Raider shirts and we all took a giant group photo with Jimmy. I think it's hung up in the stadium somewhere. I'm actually a Vikings fan though, but I still wear this shirt to the gym since I'm already lifting dead weight there. Once we got out of the stadium, they gave us food vouchers, per diem, and a hotel to sleep. I was so excited to sleep in a bed and eat junk food. I tried to take a video right when I got to the hotel, but I was struggling. I just got back to my hotel. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. After Vegas, everyone was sent home for about 3 weeks. Even though this trip in Vegas was intense, it was an experience I will never forget. I made friends with some amazing people and have memories that I will remember for the rest of my life. I can't speak for other people, but there was a lot of allegations that I think were just blown out of proportion. The food wasn't very good and people were bumping into each other sometimes, but that's like a normal day at Six Flags. And people pay to go there. Here, I got $2,000 just for showing up. So Rosanna, if you're watching this and you're looking for some dirt on Jimmy, sorry Rosanna, but you've wasted your time. Also, the amount of adrenaline and dopamine that I had for those 4 days was enough to bring someone back from the dead. If they made Beast Games Season 2, I would 100% come back. I know you have better things to do with your time, Jimmy, but if you're watching this, bring us back. Me and the Neon Dogs would love to come back for Season 2. It was unlike anything I have ever done in my life. Or maybe I just have Stockholm Syndrome. Either way, I'm still on the show, so let's keep going. 3 weeks later, and it was time to fly back for Beast Games. Me and the Neon Dogs were all divided and flew out at different times. JT, John Eric, Gage, and I all flew from California to Buffalo, New York together. And as soon as we got to the hotel, they told us we were leaving like 12 hours later. I'm in Buffalo, New York right now. I'm watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and in 45 minutes, I'm heading to Toronto. Also, I've never been in a hotel where the sink is separate from the toilet. After using the toilet, you get to take a nice walk down the hallway before washing your hands. But don't touch anything on the way there, you sickos. We got on a bus and we headed to Canada. The location was only an hour away, but it took much longer than that because we had to cross the border, we had to get processed in another hotel, we had to do a bunch of paperwork, we also had to get fitted into our costumes. We also had to take a bunch of bathroom breaks, they had to feed us, we needed to take promo photos, but finally, after about 10 hours, it was safe to say, I'm in Canada. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is on. For the next 4 days, we hung out at this hotel and it was incredible. The food was amazing. They were feeding us like 4 times a day. I think I gained like 10 pounds. I loved it. We all got to hang out together and just relax at a hotel for 4 days. It was like a vacation. The Beast Games team treated us so well. One contestant even brought Squid Game cookies. John Eric from my alliance was a master at it. They also had a game room, they had multiple pools, they had a gym, they had a pickleball court, and they even had this like super fast water slide that Gage went down with his hat on for some reason. After 4 days of fattening us up and keeping us happy, it was finally time for more challenges. We had all been spread out between multiple hotels, but most of the Neon Dogs got together for one final photo. We put on our costumes, we gave up our phones, our luggage, and literally everything we had on us. It was finally time to head to set. Everything was filmed in this abandoned airport hangar in Toronto, Canada. The set was insane. It felt like it was like 2 football fields long. I could barely see down the other end of it. Colin and Samir were there filming stuff. It was cool to say hi to them. And all the pillars were labeled with our numbers. I was number 606, which again was the flag number I got in Vegas. It was also very obvious to me that we were standing on trapdoors, but they didn't tell us right away. And there was a lot of other contestants that had no idea at that point. Even when you were like moving your feet, you could hear the trapdoor moving. Each pillar had its own camera, its own mic, a water bottle with our number on it, and an iPad. So every single time we got onto our pillar, we would have to mic ourselves up, and the cameras were literally always on us. They had over 1,100 cameras filming the entire set. Everybody was talking to the cameras about how they could use the money to help homeless people or help with charities. It was very thoughtful and caring. And they also aired this video of Drew from my alliance saying this.
There's a lot of clowns that want to donate the money. I'm buying jet skis and gold chains.
We only did one challenge that day, and it was the $1 million bribe. About 50 people took the bribe, and that was the end of day 1. I didn't take the bribe because I honestly wasn't there for the money. I know that sounds strange, like why else would you be on Beast Games? It's for the money, right? But honestly, I was just having so much fun, I just wanted to see how far I could get. After the challenge, we went back to our hotel and got ready for the next day. In the morning, they shuttled us back to the abandoned airport hangar and we started the self-elimination challenge. This one was absolutely insane to see and hear in person. Jimmy put 60 minutes up on the clock, but everything happened so fast. I think the stressful environment and anxiety must have gotten to people because instead of taking 60 minutes, it took less than 20 seconds. Panic set in and people were self-eliminating for nothing. And watching them drop 100 people through those trapdoors at the same time was crazy. A group of 1,000 people went down to 700 in just a couple of minutes. It was insane to watch 30% of the set disappear at the same time. And unfortunately, this is when we started losing some of our alliance. The Neon Dogs were dropping fast. Only 4 out of the 10 of us made it through that first episode. After everybody dropped for that challenge, we all went back to our hotels for the night and then came back the next day. This next challenge was super easy. You literally just had to stack foam blocks. A kindergartner could do this. Jimmy put 10 minutes on the clock. After only like 1 minute into the challenge, everybody around me started dropping their blocks. A girl behind me dropped her blocks, and even though she was eliminated, she jumped off her platform to try to collect her blocks, which was making other people's pillars shake. Literally all around me, contestants' blocks were falling. We were only 5 minutes in, and I had already heard like 20 or 30 people dropping their blocks. So I thought to myself, I don't even need to stack these blocks quickly. I just need to beat out the clock and let everybody else around me eliminate themselves. This was so easy. Literally a 2-year-old could do this. I waited till there was like 5 seconds to stack my blocks, and then, oh no, wait, no, this is where I got eliminated. I probably should have just lied and said I got out in the last challenge. But unfortunately, because I waited too long, I didn't have time to balance my tower, and when I let go, it just slowly tipped over. Even after it fell, for a second I was thinking I might be okay, because everybody around me dropped their blocks like 5 minutes ago, so maybe there's hundreds of towers that fell before the clock ran out. But nope, I looked down the set and most people's towers were still standing. I guess I just happened to be around like 50 people that had never played with Legos or Tetris. But trust me, it was harder than it looked. Is anybody else from the Neon Dogs still in the show? Gage is still in? All right, I'm going to Gage's house. Let's go see if he won $5 million.